Okay, it recorded. Hello, Sam Lee. How are
What's up,
you?
Jonathan? Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, this is friend Sam Lee. We met through STEM, Students Training and Missions with InterVarsity. We only were able to go to what do they call them? Like a retreat, a weekend? I don't know.
I'm
One
thinking more of a weekend.
a weekend. Okay. So we've only known each other for one weekend. Um, but we'll know each other more after this. I
Yeah,
guess.
sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we were just talking before recording. You're working in a dentist's office, you're a dental assistant. How how's that been going? How'd you decide to want to become a dentist and stuff?
Um, yeah, it's kind of a long story, but originally I came to UTD. I go to UTD to study to become a dentist, right? So it was kind of like I wasn't really decided on dentistry until my junior year. Um, Kind of explains why I'm taking a gap year and then also like working as a dental assistant, also while I'm applying to dental schools. Um, but the biggest reason why I decided to study and then become a dental assistant is to get like that direct, more hands-on kind of learning and experience working with a dentist, so I can understand his role better when I'm in a support position.
Cool, cool. Right. And after all your education, you're gonna end up becoming the main guy, the dentist then.
That's the plan.
Yeah, yeah. Have you this is maybe like super future question, but have you ever thought about like your own practice, or are you gonna or is just like working under someone else's good for you?
Yeah, that's a legitimate kind of like point. Definitely, I want to start off by working under somebody. I feel like um, you learn a lot from like dentists with more experience than myself. Of course, I've gone through schooling at that point, right? The dentist I work under right now, he's in his 30s. He's very young, but even he's doing something called shadowing, which is just observing another dentist do like at his work, you know. Uh, but the number one goal I have that I want to take with dentistry is kind of like medical missions, kind of like that thing.
Oh,
Yeah, and that would mean that I would kind of need to know how to be independent and start up kind of like practices and do operations by myself. And it could be done with a team, right? But ultimately, I do have to be independent at that point.
yeah, wow. That's awesome. Are you like part of GMA and stuff?
Oh, you know about Jima?
Yeah, yeah. June he goes to UH.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Gene He, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How's that org been, especially in light of the work you want to do?
Yeah. First off, I think it's really cool that Gene He, small world. uh, so last year, January 2019, we actually went to the same mission trip, and I got to shadow a dentist there for about a week. Um, and I think Jima kind of showed me the direction I want to take with dentistry, just because of the amazing experience I had going on a mission trip and really just understanding myself during those times.
Cool. Yeah. So where where did y'all go? Y'all went to like a different country, right?
Mhm. Yeah, we went to two cities in Mexico, more in like the border area, so North Mexico, uh, Piedras Negras, and then also Morelos.
Okay. Interesting. So when you say you want to do like missions with dentistry and stuff, who are you trying to, I guess, target and help? And like, would it be in a different country too?
Um, in terms of demographics, it would definitely be like low socioeconomic. Uh, I know a lot of people try to help out specific kind of like cultures or communities, maybe of their own race or of another race. But for me, it's not the most important thing. Although I went to Mexico, I loved working with the locals there. Uh, I feel like in general, like the communities that are underprivileged, definitely underserved, and low socioeconomic status are the kind of like the target and the demographic that I want to reach out to because um, growing up, I was kind of in the same similar like situation as they were.
Oh, okay. Th- So you're saying you grew up with a lower socioeconomic upbringing? Is that?
Yeah, basically. Um, yeah, I'm from Korea. So when my family immigrated to the United States, we didn't have like that much money. Like the college degrees don't translate over very well. So in the beginning, my dad was just taking on all these like low end jobs, like night shift at a restaurant, like janitorial work, like Taekwondo assistant, like not even the master himself. It was just like he would help the assistant, stuff like that. Very odd hours that my dad worked, but that was kind of like the situation I was in as a child, you know.
Hmm. And so, okay. I guess since we're already on this subject, might as well talk about you coming to the States and like how that's been. So right, you're saying like it was difficult, especially on your dad, to provide for the family. What age and what time did y'all come over, and where did y'all go to Dallas, or was it somewhere else first?
Mm, yeah, at the beginning, maybe when I was around 3, that's when my family moved kind of like all over the states. But by the time I was like 5, uh, we settled in New Jersey, near like the universities. That was like Princeton. So yeah, I lived in New Brunswick until I was like 7, and then I moved to Dallas. And sorry, yeah, during that time, I guess I didn't really feel that my dad was struggling to provide for the family, but he did kind of like have kind of harder jobs, kind of awkward at awkward hours, um, and we definitely didn't live in a nice like kind of like area either. Uh, but yeah, that was kind of like what it was like when I was a kid up until maybe 2010. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So what what led y'all to move to down here to Dallas? Well, not here, but down to Dallas.
Oh yeah. You're in Houston right now, are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah. First, it was just like my dad kind of met this Taekwondo master. So my dad he teaches Taekwondo, um, and since my dad was located in New Jersey, uh, Taekwondo instructor, like he was really well renowned as well. He was like his name was Mr. Chung. He was really well renowned in the DFW area for Taekwondo, and my dad and him traded places. So uh, Mr. Chung, he went to New Jersey to kind of like retire, and my dad took on the name. And I feel like it was uh, just like God's gift to us because it was just so lucky that my dad, uh, only having kind of like couple of years of Taekwondo experience, like teaching wise, because he was working as an assistant, right? And then also, just like my dad wasn't a big name either, but he inherited this this giant taekwondo kind of company. Um, Even though we're not even family either, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Um, okay, well, let's stay on this Taekwondo area for a bit. So, is your dad still teaching, or do y'all still do stuff with Taekwondo?
Uh, yeah, my dad kind of does like he's kind of retired to be honest. He's getting old.
Mm-hmm.
He teaches at a recreation center before COVID hit, like um, maybe twice a week. It was so chill. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
mhm.
But so it was like, was it this like handoff that like, I guess since we were talking about socioeconomic class, like this helped y'all, I don't know, in a way
like
get the American dream?
like mobility and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I definitely think it highlighted mobility because
Mm-hmm.
he went from Taekwondo assistant in Jersey to Taekwondo like master, also owner of his own like big school here in Texas. So it definitely does
Yeah.
highlight mobility really well. Um, and it really helped in terms of socioeconomic status. I think it was like, I'm not entirely sure what year it was. I know it's in the 2010s, but we actually moved into a small home at that point after living in an apartment for so many years.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
So did you did you learn Taekwondo?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Did you go all the way like black belt?
Hmm. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Did you do any
uh,
of like Taekwondo or anything?
actually, I did Taekwondo.
Oh.
Um, I didn't do it for that long. Um, is actually I had a instructor that went to my church. Um, I went to his place for like a year or two, and then there was this old senior guy who was who was offering to teach stuff. I don't know how this happened, but then like I learned from him for like a year or something. That was very weird.
Pretty cool.
um, but yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Like the fighting world is so interesting. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Well,
That's
just yeah, sorry. Or I don't know if he like got well, I'm sure there's competitions and stuff. But like things with like the MMA or whatnot, like I don't know if he ever went and dabbled there and stuff, but
oh yeah. Taekwondo is kind of like an art form, more of an
mm,
form than a fighting form. Yeah, there's all these fighting styles of martial arts. There's like MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, stuff like that, that are very violent. And then Taekwondo is very flashy, on the other hand. So when I was as a kid, I was like very flexible. I could do all these like spinning, like flashy moves that I can't do anymore because I'm so out of shape. Uh, yeah, it's just like it does have a fighting aspect to it because of course you've seen the sparring. It's I think it was even part of the Olympics for a while too, right?
I don't know.
Mm. But yeah, definitely there's other kind of like fighting styles that are much more efficient at
Mm,
taking your opponent down. If that's how I want to put it.
mm, mm. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, because I I listened to Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you know about his, well, I mean, his martial arts past and stuff? Yeah, so he grew up doing Taekwondo and stuff. And so yeah, he's talked about that. But yeah, that's super interesting. But
Yeah.
so like right now, like fighting isn't as big of a thing in, at least in your life.
Fighting? Oh shit. Actually have some stories about fighting. Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Defending. You,
Defending. Oh boy.
or were you
Yeah, I mean
attacking?
yeah, I was doing both, man. I mean I can share a little bit about it.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, as a kid, I did Taekwondo since I was, I want to say 8, so around that elementary school time, and I was not a violent kid. But when I got to middle school, I guess that's when like it's around the time puberty hits, and then all these hormones and stuff. But when I was in middle school, throughout my middle school years, I was very angry, kind of like I was a pretty violent kid. Um, yeah, it's like I remember number one thing I hated the most was just like being disrespected, and I wasn't gonna take any like lack of a better word, I wasn't gonna take like shit from anyone, right? So I remember I got into a lot of fights, just like yeah, I got suspended a lot too. What started off with kind of like detention escalated to in-school suspensions. They lock you up in a room, and as I had more of a track record of being suspended, like getting in-school suspensions, I met with the dean once. This was in 8th grade. I got in a fight with a kid on the bus, and the dean, like, it got so bad because I would see her every few days or something, to the point where the dean actually quit and resigned from school. And at that point, I had to go to the principal's office because we had no dean. And the principal scolded me. She's like, "Do you know what you've done? Did you know that I'm not going to disclose any names, but did you know the dean quit?" And I was just like, "Oh my gosh." I mean, I shouldn't laugh. That's terrible. But I was just so shocked at the time because I was a kid. And the principal talked about potential expulsion from the school, but she's like, "You have really good grades." Throughout all my school kind of like academic life, I always had good grades. And she's like, "Why would you do such a thing?" And she's like, "It makes no sense to me, right? You're just throwing away your future." She talked about that too. Uh, but I was just like, I wasn't gonna take it from anyone. So um, she kind of went to this middle ground. I got out of school suspension, so I couldn't go to school for a few days. And then when I came back, it's just like um, my relations with my teachers and my principal. It was kind of like really um, bad, I guess, because they had like one perception of me, I guess, and then now it's just like yeah, that happened. So, but yeah, that was just kind of like a little short story about me fighting.
Dang. Wait, so what happens afterwards? I'm so
Oh, like,
You go to high school and
oh boy. By the time I went to high school, I really mellowed down. I mellowed down to the point because my dad was just like, my dad was like, "What the heck's wrong with you? Like, why would you do that?" Because like, um, being emotional, acting on your emotions. I feel like this is the Asian thing, but it's like a culture thing where it's like, don't show your emotions. Be your man. Like, don't cry. Like don't get emotional, stuff like that, right? And by the time I went to high school, I really mellowed down. I never got suspended. I never got in trouble once in high school. It was more like I focused on studying, a lot of League of Legends too,
Hmm.
like an ungodly amount. And then fighting uh, wasn't really a thing actually. So the thing about Taekwondo nowadays is back in the 90s, you would learn Taekwondo, sorry, for like self defense because it was a real thing. Bullying was physical. People didn't get in much trouble for it either. I remember hearing about it from older students when I was going Taekwondo. But that was like the 90s and the early 2000s. By the time we got around like the year I went to high school, like if you fought someone, not only the attacker but also the victim, they would get suspended from school. So it was just like a complete 100% anti-fighting kind of like environment that schools kind of like I guess transitioned to.
Wow.
Yeah, but I guess the last fight I did was at a taekwondo tournament. This was I believe ninth or 10th grade because I was practicing to go international. So at the before you go international, you gotta be getting like you gotta get practice at a local tournament. So I went to the Texas like kind of like state tournament there, and I got placed into kind of like the lightweight class, and my opponent, man, that guy was a solid like 30 pounds bigger than me. So I didn't even know how he got put in my weight class. Like I don't know whether it's like coach lied or something. I don't know. Yeah, man.
Oh
Um,
man.
I was squaring off with that guy. I was on the losing side. I was like 2 points down, and when the half bell rang, they were like calling halftime, right? All I see is this like I see a heel coming straight for my head, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what the heck? And it was so off too. It wasn't even close. It was like a solid 3 seconds after the bell rang. So I'm just like, okay, we're done. We're gonna take a break, right? This guy stops, and then he just spins and lands something called a hook kick, which is like a heel kick right to like like this area of the neck. I don't know if you could see on the video, but I like blacked out. I had a bruise there. I couldn't play violin for like a good like a week. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Um, After that, I was just like, man, I think that was like the quitting point for me for Taekwondo because I thought that guy has problems, man. Yeah. So
Wow.
basically, yeah. Uh, Fighting ended there. I think I can confidently say that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you can laugh at that. You, it could have been a lot worse. You could have been more
That's true.
permanently injured.
Hmm. That's
Oh
true, man.
man. Yeah. Wow. I'm like a little sweaty.
It's
Oh,
like you're in a
wow.
fight or something, like you're getting that adrenaline pumped or something, just from me
Yeah.
describing it. Yeah,
Yeah, well, it's like, when I don't know if you watch people like rock climb or do those, but like that stuff, like, oh my gosh, I'm just dripping. It's so
kind
it's so nerve-wracking.
of like
But
that adrenaline,
yeah, yeah,
anxiety. Sorry, yeah, anxiety kind of
yeah,
thing. Gotcha.
yeah. You just don't want to see them die.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Um,
here. You know.
yeah, yeah. It's like I don't know, a miracle. Well, I don't want to, but like kind of, but yeah.
I mean, I think it is at least.
Ah, yeah. Like, man, it's like such a anime thing. You're like going down this dark road, and then there's like this path of redemption. Oh, oh man,
That's an
wow.
awesome way you described it, though. Path of redemption, because I feel like that's kind of like the story of my life. But yeah, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, we can. could talk about that. But what was I thinking? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just I had no idea about any of this about you. Yeah, you're so mellow and chill now. It's like, what? He wouldn't take it from anybody and just fine.
Oh man.
Wow,
Mhm.
man. Yeah, but people can really change. That's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
thank
amen
you.
to that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Um, cool. Wow, that's sounded like it was like one of the biggest parts of your life. I mean, because your dad was also like teaching.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you've kind of made some like references to God and Jesus now. So just interested about faith. Because as if I'm remembering correctly from when we talked like a few times, like you came to faith like pretty late in college. And we've never really talked about how you grew up and like was faith present there and stuff. So yeah, just walk me through like what faith looked like in your life.
Yeah, that's definitely a handful. Yeah, if for starters, I was like born into a Christian family. So of course I had kind of like that background of knowing who God was, knowing who Jesus was, and all those like Bible stories that made like kind of made like that were super unrealistic. If yeah, for at least when I was a kid. So I started going to church when I was 6 because my parents they were always working. They um, were really busy, I guess, because I remember my dad was working on Sundays too. Uh, and as I was going during Sunday school, I remember always hearing about things like about Noah's Ark, uh, the beginning of the earth. So like Genesis, how that was created. And I was thinking like, man, how is any of this real? It makes no sense to me. um, even God, right? The existence of a God. I was just like, I can't see him. I don't feel him. I've never talked to him. So I was just like, Sunday to me was just go and have fun. um, just hanging out with my friends all the time. Because I remember we used to bring our like these Game Boys DS kind of things every Sunday. Uh, we'd play that, um, and had not much meaning to me for the biggest part of my life. Uh, I always remember I going to these like VBS Sunday, some like summer school kind of things. Uh, it even after all that time, it was just more of like a fun experience for me than actually learning more about God, who He is, and stuff like that, right? But the biggest turning point is after like many years through high school. I had like a gaming addiction. I was super introverted. Um, I kind of like hated the world too because I was just like, man, there's so many bad things happening. So it's not like I wished evil onto the world, but rather I looked at the world as like a spectator, and I was just like, there's so much bad things going on with all this crime and so much hatred in the world. Um, so after going through years of that, the first encounter I had with God was in sophomore year of going to UTD, where I joined like a organization, like a Christian ministry. It was called Acts, uh, and like the brothers there. much older than I am. Like they kind of reintroduced me to like faith and God and Jesus and like why that matters in my life. Uh, but at that time, I think I wasn't ready. That's like it's like I didn't feel like I needed God to be honest. Nothing extremely terrible has happened in my life, whether it's like a death in the family or like I get like injured severely, or I had like a mental breakdown, stuff like that. Like, it was like none of that, right? And I was just like, I feel like God is for some people. Like this whole Christianity thing, it's only for like certain people in this world, and I don't think I'm one of them. But Jima was like the most influencing factor for me to accept Christ because I remember I needed like kind of like health organizations because I was trying to get into dental school, right? Uh, so I was looking around, dabbling in kind of like health orgs here and there, and then my best friend, he goes to UT, and he was the vice president of GMA. Uh, so for like those who don't know what GMA is, it's like Global Medical Missions Alliance. We go on mission trips, providing medical care for those who are like who like need it basically and can't really afford it. And my friend was like, in the winter of 2019, he was just like, this winter, do you want to go on a like a mission trip, right? And I thought that was crazy. I'd left the church in high school, like around ninth, 10th grade. Um, and my relationship with God wasn't like, it was pretty much non-existent. And I was just like, when my friend told me that, I was just like, heck no. It was a week long, you know? It was like a week long and it was like all day working too. All day working, all day worship. And we were we're gonna be in uncomfortable situations because it's just like the facilities there, of course, they're not like the like most top notch, like here in the U.S. at least. Uh, but I mean, like he's my best friend, so I was just like, okay, fine, I'll just give it a shot, right? So I gave it my all during the let's see, this was my junior year, yeah. So during my the first semester of my junior year, I went on all the volunteerings. I tried to make it so that I was able to qualify to go on a mission trip. Uh, I did like all like that Bible reading things because I had a copy of a Bible from elementary school. It's like all wrinkly and stuff, but um, I really gave my all to be able to go on a mission trip. And uh, I don't think God spoke to me just yet at that moment, at like that point in my life. And after at the mission trip, I was just going through the routines. I did a lot of the shadowing, not much like missionary kind of like evangelism. It was more like uh, I was helping out the dentist a lot more. But by the end of it, on the car ride back, um, I rode with my best friend and three other people, uh, and they're really interested in my background and kind of like uh, my faith, I guess. Yeah. Um, and they were like, they weren't judging either. Because I felt kind of ashamed that all I did at home was like play games, just like kind of like laze around, not not socializing that much with other people. Uh, but they were so like open minded, and then they were like really open to hearing out and stuff. And I was really touched at that moment. So I became more interested in like Christians in general because I was just like, wow, I really envy their character, really envy their lifestyle. So I decided to like kind of like keep that in the back of my mind. I was just like, wow, maybe someday I can go to a church or something and then hang out with Christians, you know? Um, but the turning point in my life for my Christian faith was when I went on Jima retreat in March 2019. Uh, I mean, it was kind of normal. It was like a retreat where we had a lot of fun. We like jump those bungee jumps, I think. Yeah, stuff like that. And then on the night before we left, we had like this huge prayer kind of like gathering. Um, and one of the sisters approached me, and this is the same sister that was with me in that car ride, right? And she's like, "What's up? Like, how's it been?" I'm just like, "Yeah, it's good." I thought we're just catching up, but it really threw me off guard when she asked me, "Do you feel something changing or burning in your heart? Uh, do you feel like someone's trying to cry out to you or reach out to you, but you just don't know what it is?" And I'm like, you know, I'm not sure, right? Am I? I just honestly answered. And then she asked me if I wanted to accept Christ, right? It's like because Christ is the one who's reaching out to me and trying to talk to me at that moment. And then like at that moment, just everything changed for me. Uh, like my heart changed, a physical feeling in my whole entire body. Uh, I was just like, what is this feeling? Because um, as I played more back in my like high school years when I played league, I became very desensitized. So I became very out of touch with emotions and stuff like that. So it's been a long time since I felt like love or like sadness, anger, happiness. It's like extreme, but um, at that night, everything, all those emotions just flowed into me, and I think it's like safe to say like it was like the first time I cried uh, in like what 6 years. Like um, it's been a really long time, and I told her, yeah, uh, I do want to accept Christ. So uh, me and the sister went up in front of everyone, and then she was like, "Everyone, Sam accepted Christ." Like I felt like it was super embarrassing. I was just like, "Oh man, why is everyone like why'd I have to be in front of everyone, right?" But in front of everyone, I said the sinner's prayer, and I felt like that was really necessary because it was like a formal public declaration that this is the point where I turn my life around and follow Christ. Um, and then ever since then, I gave churches a try. I was church hopping here and there, and then here I am. I'm investing in a church. I go to their small group and stuff, and have missions uh, as an ultimate like kind of like goal in my life. Yeah, but yeah, that was kind of like the big summary of just how I came to Christ.
Cool. Yeah. Vibrant journey. Wow, that's awesome. The persist or I don't know how persistent your best friend was with all this, but I'm glad he was in your life, inviting you to that mission trip. Man, yeah, it's so cool to hear um, the stories of Christians that come to faith later in life. Not in the sense of being jealous, but I know like there's this like stigma that if you grow up in the church and like you kind of like stay with the faith, like oh your story isn't as exciting. Um,
Oh,
but like I don't know, but it's still awesome. Like praise God for what He's done and is continually doing in your life. And like your heart for missions um is is awesome. I think like yeah, well, yeah, because you still want to do it. It's like very much like that's your vision. That's where you see your calling um, in like the medium far future, and like, man, for me, I'm just like missions. Maybe
Oh,
like
really?
a weekend. It's like because for you, it sounds like it's right. You want to go out and like serve the underprivileged, and like you're gonna like sacrifice, right, a lot. Especially I'm assuming economically, because I don't think you're really gonna do it for the money.
That's true.
um, yeah, and like that's huge. Um, Comfort is hard to throw away, but it's one of the biggest, in my opinion, like obstacles for a Christian. Oh, but it's I'm blown away, blown away. What can I say?
Glad to hear, man.
Yeah, like, do you get to share this with people? Like, this is a crazy, like, especially in the context of everything else that's gone on with your life. Like, you you talked a little bit about gaming, and we'll talk more about that later. But like, you know, your history of fighting, the rougher upbringing, like your life is a pretty awesome story.
Thanks, thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
When you said kind of like the missions wasn't your kind of like comfort, uh, I kind of find that interesting. We met at a missions training.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah. On top of that, we were trying to train to go on this. What was it 6 weeks to San Antonio?
6 weeks. Yeah,
hmm And it's like a 7 days kind of week. Sorry, 7 days a week kind of thing. So I kind of found that interesting. I yeah.
yeah. I guess I can explain that a little. It's
Yeah.
like I think my mentality going into STEM and the San Antonio Urban Plunge was like, all right, this is my last summer that's like free. Probably free for the rest of my life. If I'm being honest. So, well, I could do stuff on my own, or I could do it for permission. So I was like, well, I guess I'll try it out. I'm like, I'm my faith is really important to me, and I'm not like doing it half-heartedly. But I mentioned comfort before, just earlier, and like, if I'm being honest with myself, there's a big part of me that's like, that's I don't know if I want to sacrifice all that much, if I'm being honest with myself.
Mhm.
It's like, well, yeah, there's like so many alternatives like that are still good, right?
Right.
With like contextual ministry, like doing ministry in the workplace, your coworkers,
Mhm.
and like that's good and all. It's just like I knew like I was gonna have a heart issue. um, yeah, yeah. Maybe God just hasn't like slapped me hard yet.
I think it's awesome that you even signed up to go on a summer training mission and also trying to go to stay up too. It's a big leap of kind of like faith for you to even like attempt, or try uh, to sacrifice one of your summers because it's free time. That's why I call it sacrifice uh, for God's kingdom. I think that's awesome. That's a because you always try to downplay kind of like uh, what actions or like what you did uh,
Mm,
preparing for missions and etc. But I think your heart was in the right place because uh, I think a lot of Christians would not sign up for a mission trip. This is just something that I feel like I don't know the statistics or anything, but I feel like a lot of students would not dedicate towards a long-term mission trip or even a longer-term mission trip. More like a 3 day kind of mission trip. I feel like a lot of Christians would not be too reluctant to go on that, but long-term serving and being really uncomfortable for 6 weeks, I really commend you for signing up for Stay Up, and STEM. So it's awesome on you,
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, man.
Good on you too.
Thanks. Uh,
um,
mhm.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, that's good to call me out. Like, I'll downplay it. um, I don't know. It's like a Christian, definitely an Asian thing too. Mm.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
I
being
feel,
humble. Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Wait, was there something else? Oh. Uh, no. No. Well, let's talk about gaming then.
Gaming? You like
Yeah.
gaming?
Do I like gaming? It's a love-hate relationship.
Oh, yeah, same.
I don't know. It's definitely gone through a lot of phases for me. Uh well, I'll just try to go through it quick, but like growing up, I have had a lot of restrictions to games.
Same.
Like
Oh, man.
I I don't know. I think like the first time my family got a console is I was like 12, 11 or 12.
Mm.
Um yeah, I played on other people's, but like I was like, yeah, okay. And then I go home. I wasn't like exactly yearning to play. I was just like, oh, okay. Um and then like being introduced to like PC and like online games,
Mhm.
I wasn't allowed to download anything.
Same.
Uh yeah. So played a lot of Flash games.
Gotcha.
Flash RIP 2020. um yeah, so basically all my friends would play like downloaded games, and I was like, oh, I don't really. I would get super into games, and like I I really loved like optimization, but that mostly meant like putting selling your life away to the game to grind.
Hmm.
Because
It's true.
um and then like now in college it's I've like, oh, I'm quitting now, and then like 6 months later I'm like, should I play again? It's like,
Oh boy.
okay, okay.
That's
Yeah.
real.
And so like the most recent, like I think I had quit in my junior year in fall 2019. I don't know for how long. Probably through that summer too. Yeah. And then like once the pandemic hit, I was like, oh, I have nothing else to do. Okay, let's play games. I was like,
Yeah. Man, that's
oh
real. That is so real.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Seems like we have kind of like a similar like house situation with all the games being restricted. Uh, Maybe this is just a kind of like a theory, but I feel like when people or like parents they restrict like gaming or restrict anything, uh, kids yearn for it more. Yeah. That's why, like for me, I was allowed to go out a lot, but the number one thing I was restricted was gaming. Like my parents, like you can't download anything. I didn't have my first computer until I was 12, and it was just a computer that could run. It was like, oh gosh, my dad built it for around $35, It was so bad.
35.
it was it was like all from trash can stuff. Like beyond like the I think I'm not too much of a computer guy, but beyond like the main parts, like those are the most expensive. Like I remember the outside covering, it had like all this brown stuff on it, and I was just like it was so ghetto. I was like like actually.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I kid you not, that I got that computer when I was in ninth grade, and I downloaded League of Legends on it, and it could run it. Like, like I don't know what type of magic that thing had. It could run League of Legends, and oh my goodness, so I was playing with 20 FPS, around 200 ping, if you understand those terms, which is really really bad. And I was really bad at the game. I was bronze. I was bronze at League of Legends when I started out. Uh, that was like season 3, I think, or 4. When I played ranked, right? Literally, my dad bought me a really nice computer, and this was for like running Microsoft Word better in his terms, right? um, yeah, for me, it ran League of Legends better. So I downloaded it, and oh my gosh, so it was like 120 FPS, a major upgrade. My dad, we were making more money, so my ping was around 60, 70, 80, kind of like that, right? So the second season I played League of Legends, I hit platinum, and none of my other friends did. So it was just like, wow. And I got all this attention, right? Like, wow, you're platinum and stuff like that. Because I was just a kid. Um, I never really got this much attention because wasn't that good at sports because I did Taekwondo and soccer. I was just like very mediocre at those. So I really got into League of Legends. I had a lot of fun with friends too. Uh, and I got to meet a lot of new people too. I think League of Legends, one of its strength is networking because I went to a Plano school. So there's like these 3 branches of Plano. I don't know if you know too much about Plano. Do you know about like the Plano?
No.
There's 3 big schools, all with like 1,500 students each. That's like the high schools. Yeah. And I would know like students from other Plano schools, like sister schools, and I've never even met them in real life. It's just how powerful like the networking was, and we'd play together and stuff. Uh, and that was like when I got that new computer, man. That was like the start of my addiction. Yeah.
Crazy.
Mhm.
So, all right. So let's see what the timeline. That's so funny. So at 12, you get the dinky $35, and then what? Ninth grade, you download League onto that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
I had
then
that for a while.
yeah. Oh man. And then your dad gets you this nicer PC. Is it ninth
It's a
grade?
laptop. Yeah, this was
Laptop.
honestly 10th grade.
10th?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. And so what happens here? It goes all goes downhill.
Uh-huh. I think I really I wanted to look good. So do you know about like personality tests or like Enneagrams, stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a 3 for the Enneagram test, which means I'm an achiever. So I really loved uh, good like class rank, good League of Legends rank, doing well at tournaments because I did Taekwondo. Everything that made me look better. I did violin and piano during that time too, during my high school, and um, yeah, I was like in chamber too back in the high school days. But it
So you're
was
the
like
ultimate Asian, is what you're trying to
I
say.
I am a stereotypical Asian.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not an ultimate one. Yeah, I just did everything an Asian would do, you know. Um, but where it went really downhill was uh, I see the world in 2 kind of big overarching uh, kind of like themes. One is emotion, and then one is logic. And honestly, humans, they have both. Of course, someone's EQ, which is like emotional intelligence, is going to be higher than their IQ. Not saying their IQ is bad, but other people, their IQ is much higher, but they have low kind of like social ability, kind of like that thing, right?
Mhm.
You can totally see that, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and for me, it's like I thought a lot about this and how I can improve my standing in kind of like the world. So I kind of defined league rank, class rank, and all that other things, like achievements, to be part of me. It defined me. Like if I didn't have those things, then I wasn't a good person. You know, as crazy as that sounds now. Um, So I try to lower my EQ, right? So I don't get emotional in games, right? Because if you rage in games, and like there's a thing called tilting. Do you know what tilting is?
Sort what? Like
It's like when you get on a loss streak and you start playing worse and worse because you feel so you want to like you're desperate to win, right?
okay, okay.
To reduce that, to reduce tilt, reduce kind of like anger, I just completely suppressed my emotions. I kind of like talked about this earlier as to why my emotions were so suppressed on like the mission trip and stuff. But and I just focused so much on just bettering my knowledge. I just try to get as much knowledge from everywhere as I can, and I got addicted to that. So I became more and more introverted, which is a contrast for me. Like since like elementary school, middle school, right? I started like having really toxic relationships with people. Uh, I just didn't really care about their feelings, to be honest. I was just like to the point. I was blunt. I was just like, I mean, dude, it's like objective. It's just what it is, man. Um, but that was not the most proudest moment of my life, at least. Yeah, it took me a while. I was in platinum. Even though I got to platinum really fast, I was stuck in platinum because I spent so much time flaming my teammates instead of actually thinking about winning. So my like whole League of Legends career, I have like 4 or 5 permanently banned accounts. uh, of course, due to toxicity, I've gotten restricted probably over a dozen times. It's like they call it a vacation because you can't access
Oh.
the game. um, it got so bad to the point where they blocked my chat ability in the game, so I couldn't type anything in the chat. It's called a chat restriction.
Mhm.
Uh, so the developers, they were like they wouldn't let me type in the game either. Uh, and that dominated my life all throughout high school and then a little bit to college too. Yeah, not definitely not my proudest segment of my life, you know.
Dang.
But yeah, yeah, man,
That's crazy.
yeah, man.
Oh, So how did that affect you at home? Because I'm assuming you played it like at home a lot, right? Like your mom, your dad. I don't know if you have siblings, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Games. I feel like you can associate them with like drugs too. Uh, I feel like they kind of activate the similar hormones to make you feel high. Uh, in terms of family dynamics, I actually rarely talk to my parents. I didn't even see them that much either. Uh, I never joined them in dinner tables. I never had a conversation with them during that whole time either. So it was just like my dad came home, he'd see me playing games, and we didn't say a word to each other. He goes to bed. I'm still playing games until like what, like 4 a.m. And then I have to wake up for school tomorrow at 8. I lived my life like that for a while. Uh, I didn't know how my dad was doing. or what my mom was doing. Even at meals, I would go to the dinner table late, eat by myself real quick, go straight back to gaming. My gaming sessions were maybe 12 hours sometimes or more in a day. And the saddest thing about it all is like I wasn't necessarily getting better at the game either. I feel like I was just fulfilling this like high, just like drugs. Um, as I was just playing more and more mindlessly. I wasn't even thinking about proving either. Um, but yeah, games can definitely be like a lot of other addicting things. Yeah, games can be really damaging in your life.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. An excess of anything is gonna ruin you.
yeah, definitely.
Hey.
Yeah,
uh,
you probably never kind of like went through that phase, right? As like growing up in like a restricted kind of like high school.
Yeah, yeah, I think there was like other parts of my life that were there too. And I think I would also kind of get tired of playing games.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. You can't hold up the false hope of grinding any for so long. For so, oh, so sad. Oh well, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want. I was like in my head. I was like, all those hours I will never get back. I don't want to think like that.
Oh, kind of like that tinge of regret.
Yeah, it's like you can regret it for. I feel like it's optimal to regret for like I don't know 10 seconds, and then it's like okay, you gotta move on. It's
Yeah.
like, or else or else it's still like enslaving you and keeping you there in my
That's
mind.
that's such a good point. It's like how you make use of your past because your past, uh, I want to say it does define who you are, but you don't have to let it enslave you like that. So like you're gonna build up on top of your past, right? Uh,
Mhm.
but I think the most biggest thing I learned uh, as I studied the Word, like the Bible, and try to understand myself as a Christian, kind of living a Christian life more, is that God uh, is the only one who can change you. And once He makes that change, you don't have to keep living in that cycle or that very shameful past. He redeemed you because He paid the price by dying on the cross, forgiving of all our sins. A past, present, and future. And as Christians, if we just remember that, um, then I feel like it could really help us, uh, or kind of remind us that we're not lost in this battle because we're always going to be fighting against sin. Just because Jesus died doesn't mean sin just all magically went away. It's still there. We're gonna fight it every day. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, man.
That's a good word. It's a good word, Sam. A
Appreciate
word
that.
from the Lord.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Throwback to STEM. Oh
Yeah,
man.
definitely, man. You know, number one thing I want to give up is games. Also, like anime, because I watch a lot of anime too. Uh, as I became a Christian, right, trying to live a Christian life, right, because those like I didn't really need those things. And then when like it was like April, and then everyone's gaming, I was just like, wow, well, I just threw away everything. So yeah, I mean, it's like I think gaming is not the issue. I think that's the biggest thing I learned in this past year. It's not gaming in itself. It's like gaming controlling your life, controlling your relationships, controlling like all these different aspects of your life, that is very detrimental. Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Whew. Yeah. Wow, okay. So what would you say to like a younger version of yourself or to just a younger person?
This kind of sounds like an interview question.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing like dental interview practice, so it's like,
Okay.
yeah, they ask these type of questions. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely to my younger self, I would just say build yourself up uh, in ways that you can be useful. And that kind of sounds vague, right? Because you don't really know about your future. Because I remember in high school, I was just like, what the heck do I want to like? What the heck do I want to be? You know, I didn't think about being a dentist. I took general courses, of course, in high school. Take like AP Bio, AP Physics, just like all these random stuff, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I would tell myself like practice music more because I remember I gave up music to play League. Like read more books. Just build onto yourself. Don't care about these temporary things like rank because uh, rank will go away. Because right now, even though I play League here and there, I haven't played ranked in a long time, and it's because I realized once I hit diamond, I hit diamond again. I went on another account. I hit diamond on that. You're just like, man, I didn't even feel accomplished when I hit diamond, to be honest. And on top of that, with the season resets and I hit diamond again, I'm just like, there's no merit to this. Like, no one cares, first of all. Uh, it doesn't make me feel good. It's just a lot of countless hours. And my skills, they get outdated with every patch, if you know what a patch is.
Mm.
Meta changes. Uh, it was just so pointless, which for me, it really helped me out with my walk with God because it showed me that these things are temporary. Rank, like all these different worldly things, right? Even money. Man, when I went to UTD, I'd get the stipend, right? And then
Mm.
my final semester at UTD, I don't get stipend. So I'm just like, money runs out. Oh, but like, God will always be with you. God is eternal. So why wouldn't I invest in God? Why wouldn't I invest in following Jesus? Because it's permanent, you know? Um, yeah, that's just something that I kind of remind myself every single day. It's like when I feel uh like binging a show or playing League, I'm just like, okay, I'm just like taking a step back and just like wondering like why am I doing this first of all, and then I go for it, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm,
that's good. That's
mhm.
good. It's it's like it's such a weird thing. Like you can tell people that, and like I think a lot of people understand that.
Right.
Like when especially when you talk to another gamer, but it's just
Yeah.
like until I don't know, they hit a wall and then everything just comes crashing down. Like they won't really like take it in or something.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it is a gamer thing, you know. Um, but yeah, I think it's our role as their fellow brothers. For example, like in a small group, someone struggling with games, right? Um, it's our role as Christian brothers and sisters, in our case, brothers, to watch them and make sure they don't fall. Uh, Also, show the level of compassion towards them, and show them that there are better things in games. You know, because honestly, I feel like they just don't know, because they know by words, but they don't know by heart. So they're like, well, if I don't do games, then they're lost. They're like, then what do I do? you know. But if we can become role models as like older Christians, then maybe we can show them this hope, different things that are uh, that they just didn't know before. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good. That's good. Man, whoever is going to get discipled or mentored by you. Look.
oh man,
Oh
that's a
man.
bit too much. Oh, but yeah,
I
thanks.
mean, is it? Is it? I don't know. I don't know, Sam. Whenever you get that, you say you have your own thing, and then someone shadowing under you, you're like,
Mhm.
don't play game. uh,
The funny thing, I can't even imagine it, but yeah,
yeah,
but
Doctor
yeah.
Sam. That's it.
okay, now that's kind of pushing it.
Okay. All right, all right. I'll just wait until it's official. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's been good. That's been good. Breezy 1 hour, 10
Mhm,
minutes.
mhm.
Um, yeah, yeah. Is there anyone over at UTD that you think I should also talk to?
Um, hmm. There's like a handful of people, uh, yeah, that you can talk to. I feel like, have you talked to everyone at U of H? I think that's the first thing I can ask.
No, not close.
Not close.
Yeah, but I was just like in my mind, like I didn't want to just do U of H. Well, yeah. But like obviously that's where I will inevitably talk to the most people
Mhm.
just as I keep doing this. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I kind of brought up U of H is because there's a community building aspect, and everything's online and sitting right.
Mm-hmm.
This could be an awesome way to engage in conversation with other Christians. Uh, not
Yeah.
necessarily limited to Christians either, because I remember
Yeah, yeah.
you're talking about the direction of the podcast, um, but yeah, if you invite someone to come onto your podcast, I think way more times than not, they'll be really excited, and you'll get to know them on top of that because you went to the same school. Um,
Mm.
so when you talk to some people in U of H, I'm definitely available. I'm not gonna like go away. You can talk to me if you need people from UTD. Um, but yeah, I think talking
Okay.
to U of H people first uh, would provide great service to the community and also building up university because I would love to see U of H university grow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right,
I
yeah.
got you, man.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, thumbnail time and then we can wrap it up.
Gotcha. What will
Yeah.
we do?
Uh, doesn't really matter. Did you want to do something with your hands? I don't know. I could,
Oh, do you have
it's
like
up
a
to
graphic
you.
designer or something?
No, I just take people as they come and then no, I make everything myself.
Oh,
Um,
nice, nice. That's really cool.
yeah. I normally try to make them funny or yeah. Or
yeah, if you got
but
anything.
yeah. Hmm. Okay. Okay, wait. Can you smile? Okay, cool. I like that. Okay.
Oh my
Uh
gosh. I don't know what you just took a picture of, but that sounds kind of sketch. Oh man.
Okay,
Oh
well,
boy, you better send me this video and show me
I'll
what you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'll send you the thumbnail too before I
Oh, it's
post.
okay by the way. I'm just playing around. You can use
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll
Yeah,
be I'll be I'll be I'll be good.
it'll be good.
Okay.
You promise?
I hope so. I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you a 90% guarantee.
Okay, yeah, it's a pretty favorable chance.
Okay. Okay. If you're still watching this, thanks. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.